What's up with the Raider Nation? This your man Wasted Talent. I'm coming to you with another short video. The Raiders, after negotiations with Kliff Kingsbury have fallen apart, have decided to go on and bring in, and they're expected to hire Luke Getsy. Now, Luke Getsy is the former offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. And this has been reported by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler late Saturday night. And this is less than a month after the 39-year-old held the same post with the Chicago Bears and worked very closely with Justin Fields. Now, there are some who are going to say, this is a terrible hire. What the hell are the Raiders doing? There are others that might beg to differ. Now, what many don't know is Luke Getsy also held a wide receiver coaching position back when Davante Adams broke through in the league from 2014 through 2016. He had two stints with the Green Bay Packers. Davante Adams has spoke very highly of Getsy, and also Aaron Rodgers has spoke very highly of Getsy. Now, this is not the move that Raider Nation was exactly hoping for and asking for, right? You know, Kliff Kingsbury was a guy that was very high on a lot of our list. A lot of people were disappointed, but let me tell you something. Luke Getsy has done a pretty good job in context. Now, Luke Getsy's offense, when Justin Fields started in 2023, averaged 21.8 points a game. And in context, the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes averaged almost the same thing, 22 points per game. Now, there are some were saying if he's so great, why did he get fired? Now, there's always got to be a sacrificial lamb. Something had to change in Chicago. The Chicago Brain Trust has decided to stay with Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus is a guy before he came to Chicago who was highly, highly touted. So, you know, Luke Getsy is a guy who kind of fell by the wayside. Now, the thing that kind of troubles me is the development and the possibility of getting Justin Fields. Now, what does that relationship look like? A lot of us are looking at Justin Fields as kind of the safe landing spot if we were not able to procure a quarterback in this upcoming draft. It does not look like the Chicago Bears wanted to entrust Justin Fields with Luke Getsy. Now, let's look at it. Luke Getsy actually said that, you know, he was very, very excited to keep working with Justin Fields. But then in context, Justin Fields has said that he feels like coaching is an issue. He's called out the coaching staff. Now, did that mean Getsy or does that mean Eberflus? I would probably surmise it means Luke Getsy. So there are a lot of moving parts with this. Now, these are a few good things about Luke Getsy. I've mentioned how many points that they brought, you know, to the table. I've mentioned the Davante Adams caveat. And I've also mentioned one thing, and I'm about to mention it. Excuse me. The development of Cole Kmet. Now, this could mean something really, really big for one Michael Mayer. And, you know, the fact that Antonio Pierce is a ground and pound, you know, hard-nosed coach who wants to play ball control because he's building a tough defense. Luke Getsy has been one of the better run coordinators in the National Football League, and that could be a huge, huge factor. The Chicago Bears have had one of the best running attacks in football. Now, a lot of that is a symptom of the fact that Justin Fields is such a phenomenal runner of the football, and it leads me to believe that the Raiders might be looking for a more mobile running quarterback. So, I mean, listen, folks will either hate this move or you'll have the optimistic Raider fan that are going to talk themselves into liking the Luke Getsy hire. But, you know, I'm going to be honest. If this all comes out and comes to fruition, this is an uninspiring hire from my perspective. This is not what I expected. This is not somebody I was looking forward to. I can look at the good and the bad in this, but I am not going to come up here and sell this to you guys like this is something that is a good situation for the Raiders. But listen, time will tell. The one thing that I'm happy about is that him having so much contact with Davante Adams, I am sure the Raiders Brain Trust went to Davante Adams and talked to him and got him to sign off on his deal. And if Devontae Adams signs off on his deal, this can mean big things for Devontae coming forward in the future. Also, I'm sitting here and when you look at, the Tom Telesco hire, if you look at, all of the things that have transpired this offseason, things have kind of taken a left turn in a sense where it's not exactly what we thought was going to happen, but maybe this is the kind of move that is what we need to happen in our locker room. We do not have Josh Jacobs anymore. He will be a free agent, but I'm expecting the Raiders to probably bring Josh Jacobs back. We have Zamir White. We've had one of the better running attacks in football. Having an offensive coordinator like this to go along with Antonio Pierce in this defense is not the worst thing in the world. When you think about an air raid offense, and hey, I'm gonna go on record. You guys know I'm a guy who wanted Kliff Kingsbury here. The air raid and a ball control kind of a defensive football team, it kind of doesn't mix, because if you're playing a tempo offense, you're scoring fast and you're having a lot of 3 and outs, and that makes for a tired defense, man. But I'm likely to believe that if the Raiders are going to do this, man, if the Raiders are going to do this and they bring this guy in, man, I hope the case is that Luke Getsy is the offensive coordinator that the Chicago Bears expected they were going to get. You know what I mean? Because, man, this is not something that I'm looking at and was really, really super inspired by, man. And this is the second time in 3 days the Raiders are nearing, a deal with a coordinator. It's not a done deal yet. We've just learned, just yesterday that unless it's a done deal, it's not a done deal. But I'm hoping Luke Getsy can have a power sharing kind of a situation and have some of the brain trust in the building who have been head coaches, such as a Hugh Jackson, kind of help him along and make this a better situation, man. And the cool thing is, man, Luke Getsy was at the Senior Bowl. So that's another advantage of the Raiders. I like when you have a coach on your staff and going into the draft who was at the Senior Bowl, who got a chance to work with some of the talent that was over there, man. So that's another one that's in Luke Getsy's corner right there. But at the end of the day, who knows how this is going to turn out? I'm not going to sell this to you, nation, as the greatest thing in the world. But in the middle of all of that, Luke Getsy is not a hack. He's not the worst guy in the world. He's just not what I was looking for. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not what I was looking for. I was looking more for Pep Hamilton, Kubiak. And I think a lot of, the options that we had are kind of off the board, because I'm hearing that Clint Kubiak is going to go to the Saints. So, listen, once again, Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers, bright offensive mind. Luke Getsy comes from that tree. So let's see how this all works out, nation. Listen, guys, I know we're disappointed, but at the end of the day, listen, this might turn out to be better than we think based off of some of the strengths that Luke Getsy has. So, guys, a little bit later, going to be going live. We're going to break this down into more detail. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It's your brother Wasted signing off with the Wasted Quick Hit. Make sure you guys tap in for the live a little later, man. I'm signing off. Peace.